Now, speaking of things that are easy to do, the Dallas Cowboys made the easy trade for Trey Lance for one very important reason, and we'll talk about that coming up. Before we get to that, I'm out of order on my thoughts. First one is whether or not Jerry Jones will continue to have contract negotiations with Dak Prescott into the season, given that, as I mentioned not long ago, he's got a cap number next year of $59.455 million. Here's Jerry Jones from yesterday addressing whether the contract discussions will indeed continue.
Those numbers on those contracts, those types of numbers, especially the big ones, you live with constantly. That's always on your mind. There's never a time when it goes away because you've got to make the entire thing fit. And so it's on the mind on a player decision in the middle of the year. And so it's just a fundamental. We expect Dak to be with us a long time. And, we're always working around it with several machinations.
If CD or Dak, those two that you talked about there, if they wanted to have discussions about a potential deal, you wouldn't just say, well, we started the year, so we're off. Like, you would still be open to those discussions once the year starts?
Absolutely. Absolutely. At any time.
And why wouldn't they be? They need, plain and simple, they need to chop down that $59.455 million cap number so that they have the ability to sign Micah Parsons. Because I guarantee you, Chris, we've talked about this. The moment the window opens on a second Micah Parsons contract, he is going to be banging for that second deal. And he's going to want to be the highest paid defensive player in all of football, depending upon what he does this year. I mean, it's going to be a more convincing argument if he is the defensive player of the year or close to it. He was second in the voting last year. But they need to have Prescott's deal taken care of and extended with a lower cap number so that they can sign Parsons. But that gives Dak all the leverage. That's why this is a problem, because Dak doesn't have to do anything. I don't have to redo my contract. I'm fine with the $59.455 million cap charge next year. It's not my problem. It's your problem. This is my contract. We knew it going in. This is it. Honor your contract. We talked about that yesterday. Honor your contract. Hey, Cowboys, honor your contract. $59.455 million. What? You knew. You're grown-ups. You know what you signed up for. Deal with it. That's what Dak could say. And if you want me to reduce that cap number, well, okay. Well, I've got leverage. What's it worth to you? How much are you going to pay me? How many millions am I going to get, maybe over and above what I would have gotten? Because not only do you need to extend the deal to continue the relationship, you need to extend the deal to reduce the cap number so you can keep your other guys.
Yeah,
I mean, right. He is in a position to play massive hardball with them. And the fact that they don't have a new deal done, what's that suggest, Chris? He is playing hardball with them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he certainly seems to have, a good business sense about him. Ever since, I was sitting on the bed with him in Miami, right? And he gave me the side eye when I asked about a team deal. He was like, nah, not exactly. I don't know what you're talking about.
You need some context for that. You just need some context.
We're just sitting on a bed in Miami.
Sleep Number
talking ball,
sponsorship.
Okay?
And there was an interview that Chris did, and Chris was doing the whole spiel. Oh, you're not selfish. You're not greedy. You're going to do that. You're going to do a team-friendly deal. And he got the side eye.
Yeah.
We used to be able to pull that up on demand. If I talk long enough, I bet we'll see it. Dak Prescott shooting the side eye to Chris before Prescott did his deal. But yeah, this is all about, and this is, here's the point, folks. And this is exactly the kind of situation where Jerry Jones, if he found himself in a spot like this, you know damn well what he would do. He would squeeze. He would push. He would take full advantage of the leverage that he has to do the best possible deal, because he knows the other side needs to do the deal. And if you need to do the deal, I'm going to make it worth my while. And it's okay if Jerry Jones does it, but if the player does it, he's greedy and he's selfish and he's not putting the team first. Make that make sense to me, Chris.
No, you're right. It doesn't make sense. That does not. And, Dak Prescott, I think he and his camp, they know that they got a lot of power in this situation. They got Dallas backed into a corner here a little bit. Probably why, Trey Lance, we've speculated that that's why he's in the fold, maybe to hope, strike gold to put more pressure on this situation. I still find that unlikely here within the next year they're going to know that, because this has to happen some point in the next 6-7 months, right? But where I'll say they have a little leverage is this, right? Where business-wise, as it sits on paper and everything like that, it does seem like Dak Prescott has all the power here. But at the same time, too, we're getting to a career here and we're getting to a point where Dak Prescott, smart guy, damn good football player, he's hearing the stuff that's being said about him. Can they win some playoff games? Can he play better in big moments? He's getting paid all this money.
His social media team's saying it about him.
Exactly right.
They're throwing him under the bus
that.
after he throws 2 picks in a playoff game.
Well, exactly. And then, you got, like you said, Micah Parsons, you could argue he's been the best defensive player in football the last 2 years. So, yeah, he should get a new contract as soon as the year's over. And then you got guys like CeeDee Lamb who are coming up to where you go, hey, we're going to have to pay him big money. So, at some point, too, Dak Prescott, extend it, get more guaranteed money in your pocket, get a signing bonus, whatever. But I do think he's going to try to do best as far as the salary cap number is concerned to lower that. One, because I think it benefits him in the long run. It does. It does benefit him in the long run. And I think he's got at a point where we talk about this a lot. It gets used against guys, whatever. He's got a ton of money. All right. Yes, we always want more money. I get that. But he wants a ring, and he wants that type of stuff and legacy and be thought of as one of the all-time great Cowboy quarterbacks. And to do that, he might have to take, a hair less or whatever just to get the other guys around him to be quality football players. And that's just the reality of football.
Try telling that to him.
Yeah, I know.
Try telling that to the guy with the leverage. Try telling that to the guy that you're sitting on the bed with him. In Miami, there. He heard you. He just heard you. There he is. We have just heard from Dak Prescott, side-eye to Chris Sims for saying, yeah, you're going to be a team player and you're going to do a good – but that's the tension. And there's a continuum from the Tom Brady / Patrick Mahomes team-friendly deals.
Right.
I want to win championships. I don't care about the money. I've got enough to feed my family, right? To the Peyton Manning, Darrelle Revis, it's not my job to manage the salary cap. It's your job to manage the salary cap. It's my job to get paid. It's my job to get full and complete compensation for what I bring to your team. And that's where Dak has driven a hard bargain in the past. And this all, I don't have any sympathy for the Cowboys about this, Chris. They took full advantage of the cheap years of Dak Prescott. 3 years where, by rule, he couldn't get a second contract, even though he became their starter. Year 4, when he was eligible for a second contract, and they refused to give him one. Year 5, they forced him to play under the franchise tag. He suffered the broken ankle, and even though it all worked out, he had to spend probably some sleepless nights wondering what was going to happen with his career. What's going to happen with that payday that's yet to come? Is it ever going to come? They put him in that position. So then, oh my, how the turntables turned. He's got the 4-year, $160 million deal negotiated in a way to have this landmine that everybody knows the Cowboys are going to step on next year at $59.455 million as the cap number. Is he going to be magnanimous? Is he going to be gratuitous? Is he going to do something he's not required to do? Or will he handle the situation exactly the way Jerry Jones would? That's the irony of this. He's got to go against what the owner of the team would do in the same situation in order to do the owner of the team a favor. And I don't know if he's going to do it. I don't know that I would do it. And I don't know that he should do it.
No, I hear you. It's ironic. It is ironic. It is. The ultimate business owner, Johnny Dealmaker, like the last 2 big contracts he did were really put them in a tough spot. And, Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott to where, they don't have the upper hand. And they didn't Ezekiel Elliott for a long time. And, of course, they don't with Dak Prescott. So it is crazy from that aspect. And then I think that's what leads us back to the, that's why we're all going with the Trey Lance conversation. Did they trade for him one, hey, maybe he could be a really good backup, and you got a team that's a Super Bowl team, and they're protecting their investments. But I think we're all wondering, are they hoping that he develops and becomes something that it puts pressure on Dak Prescott? I think that's still far-fetched, like we said, because if we're going to talk about renegotiating contract and all that, they're going to have to figure that out, between now and February, basically, whether he can be that guy, which doesn't happen, at least in my eyes. So, that's where we stand right now. But I think we're all thinking that with this Trey Lance thing.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.